I've always been kind of afraid of flying, and I think this movie has somehow managed to make me more scared and less scared of flying. I don't know how that's possible. Sully is Clint Eastwood's newest movie starring Tom Hanks and Aaron Eckhart, and it's a drama based on real-life events that happened back in 2009. It's about this pilot named Chesley Sullenberg, nicknamed Sully, and while flying a passenger plane, a flock of geese hits their plane and destroys both their engines. Unsure about what to do, Sully is forced to do an emergency landing on the Hudson River, and miraculously, everyone on board survives. While Sully should be seen as a national hero by everyone, an investigation starts to figure out whether Sully made the right call, and people are arguing that Sully could have made it back to the airport safely as opposed to risking everyone's lives by landing on the Hudson. I remember hearing about this story when it first happened back in January of 2009, and I just thought it was insane. However, I didn't really know about the aftermath of it all and what happened to Sully and this trial that had to kind of go on. And let me just say, this movie gave me so many feels. It basically made me feel every type of emotion you can think of. Sadness, anger, frustration, happiness, fear, everything. And I think this is attributed to two things. One, obviously the story is just a really great story, and two, the acting was phenomenal from everyone. I personally consider Tom Hanks to be one of, if not the best actors around, and he just blew me away in this movie as he always does. Tom Hanks is just such an effortless actor. He makes everything look so easy. He's just such a nice guy in real life too, so he's just so lovable. And in this movie, he does a great job of portraying this pilot, Sully, who clearly has a lot going on because this trial and investigation has got to be tough on him. He's got some family troubles, and he's clearly also has some PTSD from the crash, understandably. I read a lot of articles online about this movie and whether or not this is an accurate depiction of what happened. And from what I read, it seems like Tom Hanks did a really, really, really spot-on job of portraying Sully, which I'm not surprised about. Tom Hanks just gasping for breath like after a nightmare was enough to get me tearing up. Like seriously, he's such a phenomenal actor. And Aaron Eckhart, who plays Sully's co-pilot, also did a great job in this movie. Aaron Eckhart is a great actor, so I wasn't surprised about that. But I actually haven't seen him in a while, so I was really looking forward to seeing him in this movie. And he kind of offers this comedic relief as well as being a dramatic character. So props to Aaron Eckhart as well. Aside from the acting, the story itself is also incredible because it's just such an unbelievably moving story about this miracle that happened. And, aside from some injuries, no one died, which is just insane. The scenes depicting the crash are just amazing. It blew me away. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. And how this movie plays out is non-linear, so everything is seen through flashbacks and stuff. And if they would cut from the flashback to current time, I would just be like, I want to go back to the crash and see what happened. And just watching all the scenes depicting the event play out were just unreal. I mean, I was seriously questioning, man, how did they make this and film this? It was just some great filmmaking there. The movie's actually pretty short. It's like an hour and 36 minutes or something like that. And I think it was a good length considering this movie is only really about the event and the aftermath of the event depicting the investigation. But I do think the movie ended kind of abruptly. I was kind of just left wanting more, and I was like, oh, okay, I see why they ended it there, but it just was like, boom, it's over. It essentially ends right after the investigation, and I was kind of like, well, I want to see what happens when Sully goes back home to his family and what happens to Aaron Eckhart's character and stuff like that. And a small little nitpick is that right before the credits start, there isn't any text kind of saying, oh, this is where Sully is now and stuff like that. And it always kind of bugs me when a movie that's based on a true story doesn't include that, because I'm kind of like, well, what's going on now? But that's just a small little nitpick, and overall, I do think this was a really good movie. It wasn't amazing or anything like that. I think it had the potential to be better, but overall, it was really good. I'm going to give Sully an 8 out of 10 and see it in theaters because, man, the events depicting what happened are just incredible to watch unfold on the big screen. Thanks so much for watching my review. If you enjoyed it, please let me know how you felt about it in the comments below and tell me what you think about Sully or about just the real story of what happened. That's it for this review. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more of my reviews, and I'll see you in the next one.